I'm gonna get back to that story, Sonny. Just, just you listen to Boomer, great one. He's gonna tell you about how it was back in the olden days, back before fire, back when we walked uphill for everything. In fact, we didn't even have a concept of downhill because there was no downhill. Everything was uphill. We thought that was normal. We didn't even have a word for it because there was no alternative. It was uphill all the time. You just need to reach down and grab yourselves by your bootstraps and pull yourselves up, Sonny. Because when I was your age, I bought a house for $25,000. And I made that money on my paper route and bussing tables at the local cafe. And if I could do it, you can do it too. You just need to reach down and pull yourself up and just buckle up there, buckaroo. God, I hate boomers.
A while ago, I said, it's not the news that's the news. It's what's the news about that's the news. Because the media, which I knew for a long time. Now, again, you all said I was crazy. And I told you the media was a bunch of biased leftist hacks or just a propaganda arm of the Democrat Party. No, look, conspiratorial. Okay, boomer. Oh, look who's right. The reason I said that is one, you can't trust what the news is about. They always skew it. It's always biased. That is a reason why you don't even bother watching the news. But it's what was the media at that moment in time as an entity, as an arm, deciding to talk about. That was the news. That was the news. And here we have another example of that on perhaps a little bit smaller, more obscure scale, but very important. This is from The Nightly. Do you know who? It doesn't matter. Written by Kara Kennedy. Does it matter? No, it doesn't. So what the news is about, that's the news. Kara Kennedy. Gen Z want to marry and have kids young so we don't end up like lonely, childless millennials. And it says the Daily Mail, which is a tabloid. I'm like, look at this. I'm like, wait, what? Before a hot year ago, the media would have said, feminism, pounding the drug. Feminism don't need no man, mansplaining, leg spreading, all that shit. And now we just changed. We just changed. And you say, Cappy, is that true? Gen Z girls? No, it's not true. I mean, maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. I'm seeing data here that indicates that. The fact it's in the newspapers now is the news. There's been a shift now on what the news is talking about. And now, beforehand, it was, I would say, the media, the news was driven by ideological fuckwits who just wanted free shit and wanted to save the world. Journalists my age, I remember when they're going to school with them, they were going to save the world. Now a younger generation is taking over. You know what they want? They want money. Not that the media before didn't want money. It was the popular, hey, everybody, be a Minnesotan. Let's all vote for free shit. Let's all vote for free shit. Let's all vote for free shit and let all the men fuck our women. That's the Minnesota theme song. So that was popular. You made money on that song. So the Democrats gave them the prominence. But now people are like, oh, that is so old. That's as old as boomer feminists. It's not edgy anymore. That don't get the clicks. Wow, another article about women bitching about the whatever the wage gap, men being bad, pigs. Oh my God, he asked me out, and then I got him fired. Right? And now people are like, we're sick of this shit. Perhaps they actually are philosophically sick of leftist shit. But they said they did. What's his name? A Cenk Uygur, a Jon Stewart, Mr. Politically Incorrect. Oh, this way. The winds have changed. Now they put up their sails to capture money. And it's the fact now that we're going, the new edgy thing is to be a trad mom, to be a trad wife. And I don't mean the whores on the internet that did it to get clickbait. I'm not talking about that. This is the snowflake that is going to cause the avalanche, not this particular article. But there's a change coming. And the media is now pivoting 2, 1 remain relevant. Not to God Christ, don't report facts. Don't actually report the news media. Like, in other words, the media has become a barometer, a metric of like, oh shit, there's some fundamental change within that industry. That again, it's what the news is about that is the news. And now the media, which the left has relied on across the globe to be their little bitches, is not like, yeah, we want to make money or we're just bored of this shit. They could be leftists for all I care or for all I know. But your media is turning, it's not even that they're turning on you, they're abandoning you. The narrative is old. There's something more shiny and glossy. There's more clicks. There's more attention. There's more money to be made. And so does Kara Kennedy really want to be a stay-at-home mom, traditional soccer wife or housewife, woman, mother and wife? Maybe. It doesn't matter. The fact she's writing about it. Now, this is the new and cool and edgy thing. That's what the news is. And this is more monumental than you think. This is a bigger development than you think. Because if you got Gen Z women, the number, it's like a bar. Listen to me. It's like a nightclub. Wherever the hot women goes, society will follow. And now the cool hip thing is for young women to tell those old boomer spinster ladies to fuck off, like I've been telling you for the past 30 years. They are, perhaps for reasons that I would say are not the real reasons you should tell miserable baby boomers, feminists to fuck off. I don't care how you got to this point, but you are. And now as women go that way, guess what? All the men are going to go that way because you want to fuck them, and all the corporations are going to want to go that way because you want their money. And you know who else is going to go that way? The government. Say, oh, you want traditional? Oh, okay. I bet you might even see politicians abandon the fucking I mean, the parasites that the Democrats will always have with us. But the government might change its tone and remove its lips from the metaphorical dick of feminists and start saying, oh, the young ladies want X. We're going to deliver you X. Please vote for us. Not because they actually care. It's not even real. That's my whole point. This doesn't have to be real. It just has to be a fad. And if this makes, because media and the influencers want to whatever, influence, get traffic, get clicks, make money ultimately. I think perhaps, I hate to say this, ladies, but perhaps on more of the female-dominated side of social media, just get attention. Like, I want money. I don't really care about attention. Maybe you just want attention. You'll like, this is the new thing because it's not the old thing. Oh, it's not the old thing? I like the new thing. That fad. Throw it all away. And then you guys are going to jump on this bandwagon. It doesn't matter if it's authentic. Well, that's what you girls want. Feminism, I don't think you girls authentically wanted feminism. I think you're just told that. Okay, do a thing now. It's scary. You're all sheep. You'll just go wherever the media tells you. It just happens to be now the media looks like it might have the beginnings of saying, hey, go back to traditionalism, which has an anchoring in reality. So here's the article. Notice how it's edgy and punchy. I don't want to end up like lonely, childless millennials. Oh, is the time of the millennial hot women over because now you're 40 and the time of the young Gen Z women has come? Oh, let's follow. Oh, it's the new thing. Oh, you're not in that precious, what is it, 15 to 35 demographic anymore, millennials? Remember when you were the subject of all the articles 10 years ago? Those were good times. Remember how they sold you on? Remember how much money they took from you, millennials, selling you lies? Go follow your heart. Money will follow. Can't put a price on education. Democrats are often. Oh, dude, Obama was like the most corpo product ever. And but mixed race, socially justice, politically correct person I can vote for say I'm not racist now? Oh, and he says the things I like to hear. Dude, corporate bands. Okay, Kiss was brilliant marketing by Gene Simmons, all right? But corporate bands like Milli Vanilli was more authentic than Obama. Why don't you guys go listen to, I don't know, who was the other guy? Ice Baby. That's maybe a little too old of a reference. You guys will buy whatever slop is put in front of your face if it's got the right coat of paint. And now you millennials are becoming the new boomers that everyone hates. This article here, obscure website, obscure writer, Daily Mail, not so obscure, but it's happening because it's the new cool hip thing, yo. When I got married at 25, within 4 months of meeting my husband, and then fell pregnant 6 months after the wedding, my friends' reactions were split down the middle. Those in the 30s and 40s were horrified. What was I thinking? I was practically a child bride, a teen mother. Well, yeah, I believe that. I believe that because you now middle-aged people, you are so fucking brainwashed, and you still are to this day. It's hilarious. Like I said, this is accidentally right. You ladies, sit down. Are you? Oh God. Oh God. Demand for go buy stocks in furniture stocks because you're about to break all your chairs because you girls are just going to crash right through the chairs. Ladies, you're best staying at home raising your kids. If you have kids, if you don't have kids, yeah, sure, have a career. But if you have kids, you should raise them. Whoa, when are the assassins coming? Are they going to be over my shoulder? Is a bullet going to come through that window any moment now? It just happens to be right. You're probably best raising your. I don't know. You think outsourcing children to equally miserable leftist spinster feminists would? Yeah, why my kid got Ritalin disease? I don't know. Oh, you think cutting that off will make you feel better? Okay, you're 14. Your father ain't around to stop that. Sure. Why are they depressed? But I got attention on social media. I know everything. So these people are horrified you got married and had a kid early. Okay. Those are the people, right? The people that shiny Obama vote him object person thing. Did you get a free Milli Vanilli shirt when you voted for Obama? Hope and change, platitudes and dumb shit. Vote for the D. I was practically a child bride, a teen mother. How would I work or travel? I couldn't possibly be ready for such a huge step, but my Gen Z peers are far more sanguine. Good word. Why not embrace the joy of motherhood while you were still young, they said. What? That sentence has been written in 25 years. You see how fundamental of a change that I know it's not the biggest article ever, but it's an important article. Why not embrace the joy of motherhood while you're still young, they said. Why not jump into the big life stuff now? Do you know how seriously, 180 degrees anti-feminist that is? You are supposed to waste your youth on career and money and education and debt and consumption, ladies. That's what you're supposed to do. And then with like trying to get out of the Death Star in Return of the Jedi, you barely escape and get a kid, and hopefully it doesn't have Down syndrome. No offense to people that have kids with Down syndrome, right? That was what you're supposed to freeze your eggs. Stop now if you millennial ladies can, and you boomer and Gen X, especially Gen X. Stop now. Doesn't that make a little bit of sense? Oh, because of biology, which isn't men's fault, I should probably have children younger, and then I can go and have a career. I actually can have it all. It'll be a lot easier, and it'll be safer for everyone, right? I don't know why that's anti-feminist. I don't know. Well, it's not even conspiratorial. I know why feminists want you to waste your youth, because they don't want you to have fun. They want you to be as miserable as they were. They want you to have complications. They want you to have problems. They don't want you to have kids young that are healthy. You raise them and then you go have a career without the debt, right? Your husband probably established by that time, right? Well, it's very interesting. Oh yeah, you only got this great window to have kids healthily, but you should waste that time going and getting an education. Why can't I just get an education when the kids are falling off the school? Shut up. Why do you hate women? Stop thinking. For the truth is, my generation don't. Oh, technically that is grammatically correct. My generation don't recognize the stereotypes that are so often trotted out about us. Lonely, selfish, lazy, entitled snowflakes. Every other 20-something I know has thrown in the towel when it comes to casual sex and instead dating to marry. We've come full circle. It'd be nice if you Gen Z ladies really want to think about it. Now, if you could just stop voting to take almost 40% of your husband's money away through taxes to pay for randos kids that you don't know, the welfare state, and old people. If you could cut the tax burden, you would be able to afford children. Generally speaking, there's other things that need to be cut, but just some quick side while we're talking Democrats. We all want lots of kids, some as many as 6, and realize the time to get on with it is now. Not when you're 38. Why do you hate women, madam? Doom-mongering predictions of a huge demographic slump are certainly premature among my friends. I have to admit, for a young lady, she writes very well. This is some very good writing. The vocabulary is impressive, and the thoughts are true. This almost feels like an authentic piece. The view from Gen Z is simply a return to what has been true all along. People yearn for love and companionship. Gonna hold off on that one. But okay, I'll go with it for the sake of argument. Let's go with that. People yearn for love and companionship, and figuring out who to commit to is one of the most consequential things anyone will ever do. That's why we need to take it seriously. And instead of dithering, grab it where we see it. Indeed, a survey published this week revealed that young adults today are more in favor, she's a British gal with her programmies, of getting married than they were 20 years ago when almost 39% thought marriage was irrelevant. As Gen Z shifts towards having a more conservative view of relationships, oh, how could you be more liberal? You got your kids cutting their junk off. No, really, how could you get more liberal or leftist, I guess? The research by the Times also showed a third thought it better to be a couple to be married before having children, as I did. It's a position we've come to despite everything our parents and older friends told us. When my husband and I met, we still adhered to the view that in a world of such overwhelming online choice, it was nigh impossible to find the love of your. Where's this wisdom, lady? God bless your father and God bless you. This is some sanity and reason that, and look, your life is probably going to be much better for it. You want to go downtown where all the action is? Let alone decide on the timing was right to bring little people into the world. It's what millennials aged between 30 and 44 ain't got no eggs. No more eggs. They all dried up inside. Eggs all gone. You can't get IVF. They're too old. They go poof into dust. No more eggs. Between 30 and 44, I've been telling us for years after all. Committing to one person seemed like an outlandishly old-fashioned thing to do, but then after a few weeks together, we realized that maybe all those people who had done it before us, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, might have even had good reason to. Maybe they're happier and healthier for it. What, you mean Gen X and the baby boomers and the millennials with all their happiness and their success? There's 3 generations you should just never listen to. Millennials, X, and boomers. Like, no, you be quiet now. You shut the fuck up. We 20-somethings have to go listen to Raymond's Thoughts and Minds. He's a millennial who's like, dude, we were just fucking lied to the entire time. I'm like, yeah, here's the sad thing. Young people have to do exactly this. You have to tell the old people to fuck off, and you have to raise yourself. You do. So if you look at any of my books that I have, they're largely, and they're financial planning books, basically targeted to younger people. That's those books because your dad and your mom didn't do that. Right? A lot of immigrants got a lot of first generation. And my parents came over whenever, and they sat on their ass to collect welfare. What do? I'm like, well, you don't sit on your ass to collect welfare, but they want me to pay for them. No, fuck them. Here's what you really got to do. This past 60 years will be the parentless generation or the parentless history of America, where the parents are just wrong about pretty much everything. This is a stark contrast to the generation above us. In their mind, in their mid to late 30s, who are only just trying to find a suitable partner after spending their 20s turning up their noses at anything serious. Which group, men or women on that one? It seems that no matter how well their career is going or how big their flat is or how much life experience through travel and adventures they gain, they never quite feel ready to settle down. Watching them, my cohort has learned that time ticks on. Madam, if I would love to see your polling data and even if it was anecdotal. The polling data I recently pulled for A World Without Men, an analysis of an all-female economy. That's only a year and a half old, 2 years old. The polling data showed Gen Z girls are not that interested in men. Now, maybe you got some different data. I would love to see it. Watching them, my cohort has learned that time ticks on. And if you want 2 or 3 children, you need to start seriously thinking about it in your 20s. Too many older women. Oh, the most hate-filled group in the world, older women. Are the older women telling you younger women what to do? Are they lambasting your choices that they didn't make? Come on, do you all want to be like Miss Facebook gal, retired? Uh, Too many older women I know feel totally lied to by those around them who said they shouldn't rush into marrying and starting a family because the choice would always be there. But it's not, no matter how many eggs you freeze. It wasn't my plan to start at 25, but I'm so glad I did. Wait, are you happy being married with children? Are you a stay-at-home mom and your husband takes care of you? Well, what they according to the feminists, you ought to well, I can't say it because they're such happy people. This may surprise you, but my friends and I want nothing more than to settle down in a monogamous marriage with a few offspring to spend Saturday nights in front of the TV with. And pregnancy is contagious. When you start having kids, so do your friends. I have several who want 6 or even more children. I don't, to be honest, I don't see that bearing out in any polling data that I've seen of young women in Gen Z. Could be wrong, and like I said, the article doesn't have to be right or wrong. It just has to be because it's what's the news about. That's the news. And all my friends are doing it. Are we all poofing our Tuesday? We're all poofing our bangs. Okay. And we're wearing our blue jeans with white pumps. Okay. That's what we're doing. Break. What's more powerful, feminists? Women's conformity to fashion trends or their allegiance to feminism? Which is it? I'll tell you, you boomer feminists, at the end, your PR failed because you all grew up to be miserable. I guess physically, but I would say spiritually ugly people that just look miserable. People are like, oh, is that where it ends up? Like, see, I guess on the opposite side for us guys, we looked at our sap a doormat dads who just got divorced and trounced. We're like, yeah, we ain't doing that. And I think the women of it kind of looked at them like, oh, we don't want that. All right, okay. Maybe younger one. I know Gen X, they definitely are. They're down with the cause. They're doing their Kathleen Kennedy thing or whatever the hell they're doing. But a lot of guys are like, whoa, we're not doing that. Are you girls having that? It's like, whoa, I don't want to become like my mom or my step or my grandma. I don't want to be a miserable spinster feminist. I like guys. I like to be hugged. Fucking Vince is gonna cut that out. He's gonna cut that out. I like guys. I like to be hugged. He's gonna okay. I got the best friends in the world. I don't think I'll be bringing up a football team, but I know I'll do my part with 2 or 3. Our parents, Gen Xers or boomers, roll their eyes at this, perhaps fearing they'll be landed with overwhelming grandparent duties. Well, they should because they never parented anyway. So this is watching the National Socialists and the Communists fight in World War II. It's just like we need to fund both sides with lots of guns, and we just need to stand out of the way. You can't imagine how we'll pay for childcare costs and sigh when we suggest staying at home and looking after our children. Yeah, there it is. There's the evil. Look at that. That's how bad that generation was. They sigh because you want to stay at home and raise your children. There's a reason the society should end. It's that because we don't want to raise our children. It's considered bad and degrading to feminists. That's the hill I'll die on. Come at me, bro, or broettes, or sis. Tell me I'm wrong that you should stay home and take care of your children. Tell me that's wrong. Tell me that's degrading, right? Tell me you're of supreme arrogance and selfishness when you won't raise your own kids. FOAD. I'm supposed to be the asshole. Why am I the one defending the kids? I mean, kids get, let me tell you the problem with kids, whether they're yours or not, doesn't matter. If they get in proximity to you, they got little hooks that get into you and they get into your little heart and you're like, little kid, you're cute. And then you like got this compunction to spoil them with like money. That's how they're sneaky. They're sneaky like that. Then you're like, all right, I guess you're cute. Yeah, all right, here's an ice cream. And they're trained. I don't know where they get the training. They just like this little, I remember this little girl, friend of mine, girl comes in and I think she's 3. And I said, "Do you want some ice cream?" Because it was like 4 in the afternoon. No, she does. Parents are always anti-fun. No, she doesn't need ice cream. I didn't ask if she needed it. Yeah, no one needs it. Maybe she wants some. So we established that she doesn't need ice cream, ruining appetite, things like that. So then it ended up becoming like 9:30 at night. And the little girl was up. And I said, "Do you want, she's just hungry." I said, "Do you want something to eat?" She's like, "Yeah." I said, "Well, let's go to the fridge." So we go to the fridge. And I'm going through it, like, "Do you want a pickle?" I'm just going through it like a bachelor. No. "Do you want some cheese and crackers?" No. "Do you want, I don't know, apple?" No. And I look, "Do you want some ice cream?" Yeah. And I made her a little ice cream sundae. And then the parent, "Whoa, wait, what? Ice cream at 9:30?" I'm like, "That's right." You know, those little fucking eyes, like, "Yeah, I want some ice cream." You couldn't resist that. It's like trying to escape the gravitational pull of a black hole. Anyway, continuing on. They can't imagine how we'll pay for childcare costs, and so we suggest staying at home and looking after our children ourselves might not be the end of the world. More than one child doesn't have to mean bankruptcy. One of my girlfriends is pregnant. She has a 3-year-old. She never put him in a nursery or had regular child. Oh, she was a mom. Oh, interesting. Boy, are you feminist raging? Like, you feminists got a lot of assassins to send out today. You got to get this gal. We can't have her mouthing off. You got to get me. Could you imagine this becomes a trend where women stay at home and raise their children? That is going to be a wonderful end. The final chapter of boomer feminism is you will have failed, Your Highness. Because she and her husband work from home and juggle between them. If she really needs help, she asks one of her neighbors to step in for an hourly fee because boomer parents are never. Just kidding. It's also true. We do the same, more or less. It's why I don't worry about the motherhood penalty that holds women back at work and stops them getting promoted. The reality is, men of my generation are more willing to step up than our dads ever were. Fact. I'll go along with that. That's why I have the course, The Dad You Never Had. It's available on Teachable. Take a look at it. And my husband and I share the child care between us. On the more extreme side of the debate, of course, are the antinatalists, those who believe that having children is unethical because of climate change and babies being unable to consent to the act of being born. Yeah, that is the millennial girl territory. Like, I don't want to have children because of climate change. Some even believe getting married and having a child is an act of oppression and patriarchy, attitude that has contributed to the UK for at least now having the lowest birth rate on record. Then there are people, both male and female, who are more honest with themselves. They want to travel to prioritize their career, simply don't want children or marriage. Yeah, they see that. That's the camp I fall into. To be clear, I think it's fine if people don't want to start a family, and feel sad for those who want one but can't. But I do believe that the most of the single and child-free people I know in their 30s and 40s would be happier, more capable, and resilient if they had to navigate a committed long-term relationship and everything that comes with it, including children. I'll go along with that. Most people were propagandized. It was cool thing to hate men. It's what it was. That's what feminism's been since probably about 1970, maybe the 1960s. It was cool thing. Now not cool thing no more. Oh, nosies. For me, I'm far better, nicer, more competent person since I decided to share my life with someone. As for the logistical trade-offs, frankly, you find time you didn't know you had. I'm writing this while running back and forth to soothe my teething baby. We don't mind working hard when it's in service of people we love. Wait, what? Who? What? What? This is so well written. And if this becomes the trend and the fad for younger women, it's over. It's over for you, for a generation at least. Like if we get 60 years of this, you will have turned to dust by the time it goes back to the feminist side of it. Before feminists in 2090 say, men suck. And yeah, they do. Because person on internet said so. Slightly more child care, but my husband cooks and cleans. Changing habits past few years. Friends have decided to stop having casual sex until they find their one. They aren't calling it saving themselves or marriage. No, it's the new cringeworthy Gen Z buzz phrase like celibate summer. But the point still stands. Surveys aren't alone. Only 23% of 18 to 27-year-olds said their friends commonly had sex at a one-night stand. Steep fall from 70% millennials said they, what, really? Boy, I don't remember that poll. Could have been the UK. This goes on. I don't have time to read through all of it. I want to go hiking. I have my friends with me. But I want to point that out. This might be the beginning of the end for feminism, traditional in terms of popular thought. You might see more edgy takes that may or may not have a bearing in the opinions of Gen Z. It's the tail wagging the dog. You might actually see it now where the media, to be relevant, to get clicks, to make money, or just to get attention, is going to say now what is against traditional doctrine, which is feminism. That will lead younger women to like, I'm going to be a rebel and poof my bangs. And I hate to say it, for once it's right. You know, like poofing bangs. I mean, it didn't hurt no one. Was it the epitome of female fashion? No. But it would be like being thin and in shape would be making a comeback. You know, strike back at the feminist boomer women who are fat and I'm going to get thin and hot. Even if it is out of a retaliatory strike and not for, well, actually, it's healthy for you and you'll live longer, it's still a move in the right direction because it's based in reality. So this will be very interesting. And I can't, dude, after my entire life of hearing boomer feminists, my generation, and then millennial feminists, and just feminists in general, you're a bad person because you got a penis, which is very, very reducing it to a simplified thing. This is curious. No one cares anymore. You look at what feminists turn into; they're miserable people. So the name calling and the slandering and the hate, it's irrelevant. But man, it's got to be like Robert Reich or Paul Krugman when Trump got elected this last time. Like, you have failed, Your Highness. All that work and you still failed. Even what's his name? The guy who's about to die, Soros. Like, Trump still got elected despite your life's work. Noam Chomsky, all these old timers who are about to die. Yeah, yeah. Society. And man, could you imagine how pissed off feminists would be in their last 5 to 10 years of life? Gen Z women actually decide to start being stay-at-home moms and be, here's the key thing, happy. Oh my God. Dude, it's a wonderful movie we got put on for. I would be eating so much popcorn, be laughing my ass off. All right. Super chats. I gotta get through these quickly. Let's save your super chats for later. I gotta go hiking. Doc Paradox, $2. Have the laws changed? Court's been fixed? No. Okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right. This is just the beginning. This is just the snowflake that causes the avalanche. I hope. My Truth, The King, Minnesota theme song seems to have made it to Delaware. Okay, cool. Femboy Fantasia, $2. Can't be so short. Every skirt is a panty shot for him. Rain, $5. Simple example of JD Vance's interview talking to young men, telling men they aren't evil. No, it is true. And I think young men are, especially now with the internet and the red pill, I think men are like finally starting to have some balls, not to mention the knowledge. Yeah, that's an absurd premise. I'm bad because I got a dick. Fuck off. Telling men they aren't evil. This also confirms most women are NPCs, which is tragic. I don't know. We'll see. I believe most people are brainwashable. I mean, you guys still like, if there's cute girls involved, you'll go there. If there's a fancy car involved, you go there. So hopefully we'll become minimalist. Hopefully we let go of the spending. Bought you granite countertops, wifey poo. Now touch peen. Why wife's not happy? I rolled there 4 a.m. 10 Canadian. Young women want to be traditional now. I sincerely wish them well, but the gender war has left nuclear shadows where willing young men used to be. Oh, don't get me wrong. An entire generation or 2 generations. I talk about the wasted crop of nutmeg trees. Millennial women. No, I want a conservative, traditional guy with a job. And, you get your millennial soy boys who all voted Democrat. Here's your David Hogues. Here's your Harry Sison. There you go. There's your boys. And it's just, it's a loss. You're going to have to write it off. You just aren't going to get the love that you wanted, ladies. Sorry. Gen Z can, because they're young. And the men they can, hopefully Gen Z and Alpha will decide, yeah, you know what? The boomers, the Xers, and the millennials didn't know fucking shit about anything important. And we may not know where to go. But that's why I have that course called The Dad You Never Had. But I happen to like men and I want to be a mom. I'm a crusty old Gen Xer. I'll just watch the show. Hey, man, as long as that bridge is blown up in Once Upon a Time, I know The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Even for the captain, the bridge blew up and we could smile. Okay. It's pretty good, man. It is almost a movie unto itself. Green shorts are $2. So are women going to be pleasant again now? No, I mean, that's why I don't see that. My point is the article is saying that. And again, it's what the news is about is the news. So I'm thinking that's interesting the way that's going to go. And it might be that will make the reality happen, right? Humans don't have independent thought. It's what the media will tell them will have them independent thought, right? And so if they lose the media and the media starts going conservative, not because they're conservative, but because it makes money or is new thing, holy shit, there's nothing the left can do about that. Hey, Left, why don't you tell us we're all ists and phobes a little bit more now? How about that, right? Meanwhile, go have kids cut things off from their body. Okay, that's the cool new. Keep going with that. Keep doing that. Reen, $2. Correct. The propaganda alone is what matters. A Pringles can with veins, $10. The writing's on the wall for Western corporal propaganda. You made boys sex starved and unproductive because there's no families. Now passport bros build a cheap barn dominium and or single surrogacy. Yep. There is still 3 generations of men, boomers, Xers, millennials, equally, yeah, their nutmeg trees were poisoned by feminism. There's no nutmeg to collect. But at least we have sanity. At least we know. And then we go and that's why I wrote The Menu, Life Without the Opposite Sex, because you got 3 generations without love. Please go get it. The Menu, Life Without the Opposite Sex, available on Amazon. Reen, $5. So men are waking up and avoiding marriage. Now women are going back to traditional ideas. Oh, the irony. Here's the other thing, Reen. I don't know how old you are. It's too late for my generation, right? It's too late for the millennials. It's not too late for the young kids. And I would cheer on Alpha and Z. Like, I hope you guys do like each other. I hope Gen Z and Generation Alpha, men and women, I hope you guys like each other. Life would be a lot more fun that way. You don't have, and this is for you women, because it wasn't men who started hating women. All right. You don't have to be like your miserable feminist mothers and grandmothers. You can like men. If you like, I'm not saying you got to bow down and worship them either, but why be adversarial towards them? Why not? Well, I like guys. Yeah, cool. Maybe you all have fun together, even if it's platonic and friendly. And I hope you kind of wake up and see just how evil the Democrat Party was, or in your case, the Labor Party, the leftist party is. We're going to divide and conquer. They're feminists, or they're women. Those men are doing bad things. You can only vote for us, and we'll go get the money out of the men and make things right, sister. Cyberbully, $10. I've never heard you speak on what a good age difference is. I'm 28 and girls over 25 honestly act a little old for me. My college exes are 28 now. I wouldn't date them today. Yeah, I like I said, I don't think there's armies of young women who just want to be June Cleaver and are sweet and kind. I mean, there's a huge market for it, and maybe that's the trend it's going to go. A good age difference for you, I wouldn't even worry about age difference. I never saw a correlation. There'll be a gal that's great for you or not, and her age will almost be irrelevant as long as you're physically attracted to her. Fanboy Fantasia, $2. Can't stand kids until I get to know them. Yeah, yeah, that's how it is. They that's a pain in the ass. I don't want. And then they do something really cool. And dang, that kid, I thought was barely a functional plant. And look at that clever thing it did. And then sometimes they mouth off to you. This kid's got some spunk. And then it's too late. Then you're giving them ice cream, and now you're like, hey, I'll take the kid wherever he needs to go. What do you start picking on them, come up with clever ways to trick them. And then they oh. There were a couple kids. I go out and put my arm on him like an armrest. How you doing? Poke. Dr. Paradox, $5. These boys just don't have the time. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, look, man, we got 40% tax rate and inflation, and we just need to. It's the Top Gun quote. Hey, Mav, I don't care about first place. I just hope we can graduate. Guys just got to survive, and you girls made it impossible for them just to survive, let alone go have family. Head to Southeast Asia, learn the culture and language, put down roots, mail all else in until laws change. It. Yeah. It's going to take, look, it took 60 years to get here. It's going to take 60 years to get out. Andy, $5. Feminism has been a blessing in disguise. Imagine all these mannish harpies, childless and not in the future gene pool. Brings a smile to my face. Well, and we have been reminded now of kind of an aspect of female psychology or genetics where, okay, they're not all that into you. All right. They, in the past, they kind of needed you to survive. So what are you going to do as guys to make it where they'd want to hang out with you? That's why I'm very emphatic. You guys get in shape because you don't want to look, you don't want to pull teeth and force a gal to like reluctantly date you. Right. We're discovering facts and truths here that we can be better for each other in the long run. And maybe a couple generations got to die in the process, right? Kind of test lab animals. That's basically what the boomers and millennials and Gen X were. And maybe going forward, men and women can learn a little bit. You know, hopefully this red pill stuff was not for nothing, which it wasn't. We're already making progress. I just hope, is that too crazy, that men and women like each other in the future? Is that crazy? Pringles can with vein. It's $5. Men are past renegotiating and appeasement. Its consequences and innovation time. Don't care if you've had your fun or dating with attention. Yeah, there's a lot of guys that just burn out. We will die. That's it. It won't be for nothing. Hopefully they put a memorial up for a couple generations that says, oh yeah, these people did this thing. Femboy Fantasia, $5. In the past, we did not work far away from our children. Extended families lived and worked together to help take care of everyone's children. Yeah. That's boomers would have, your parents would have taken care of your kids while you were out doing something. They would have been happy. Oh no, we had to come on, baby, light my fire. All you girls had to get master's degree. Girl boss thing in a mini, and then fly planes upside down. It's a fun experimental phase. A lot of lab animals died. A lot of lab rats died in these generations. But in the day, I think nature went out in the end. Oh wow, you know, I never wanted kids, but it's normal when you see this little kid, pulling his freaking truck, goes around, starts pushing. It's a different story. My truth, the king, $2. Sounds like it's safe to get married again. No, it's 60 years, and I think marriage will be gone. We're like, no, we can't do this. It's too risky. We'll have commitment. All right. Link below. I think I have a link to the book of numbers analyzing the ROI and the pursuit of women. Also, you might want to take a look at that book. It's not linked below. It's called The Menu: Life Without the Opposite Sex. So for those of you who don't have a future because you're just too old, don't waste your life. There's still plenty of good things to go do. The Menu: Life Without the Opposite Sex. Go take a look at it. Have a good life. And then my latest book called Zero World Problems, which isn't really germane to this topic, but it's out. It's new. It's an economics book about having new standards of living in a post-materialist economy. So after you make a certain amount of money, like you don't need sports cars and McMansions. All right. But then what do you need? Well, here are some economic goals and objectives you can attain that are not financial necessarily in nature that will drastically improve your standards of living way more than getting a car, a fancy hat, or whatever the hell Modern Life John, like Modern Life John's get the Louis Vuitton jock strap. That's what he does, because he's got very fragile balls. So, all right. I'll see you guys later. Doodles.